Good morning, everybody, and welcome to episode 204 of the Ask the Coach show, where PingSkills helps you improve your table tennis. 204 is a very interesting number, as it's a square pyramidal number. So if you take 204 balls and start with an 8x8 base, you'll build a perfect pyramid with those 204 balls. In a poker deck, with a single wild joker, there are 204 hands that are at least as good as a straight flush. It's such an interesting number, but since it's Friday, I'll stop with the number facts and instead I'll tell 204 jokes. Yes, I will. First, the past, present, and future walked into a bar. It was tense. Why did the man take toilet paper to the party? Because he was a party pooper. All right, just 202 to go, but Alice is getting bored. So I'll stop there. We're going to talk about the ITTF Star Awards, announce our fourth competition winner, and talk about maximizing spin on the pendulum serve, storing rubbers, the difference between training and competition balls, and what we mean by touch. Yes, it's going to be an exciting show. I'm Jeff Plum, and as always, Super Coach Alois Rosario is here with me, still laughing from those couple of jokes. Welcome, Alois.
Yeah, you could say that, Jeff. Thank you, Jeff, and yes, welcome viewers, and another good show lined up. Actually, the 204 being a pyramidal number, when you gave me the mental picture of the table tennis balls, actually made sense and was actually interesting. So, yeah, there you go.
There you go. You didn't like the one about the past, the present, and the future walking into a bar?
No.
It was tense.
No.
Oh, come on. That is funny. Oh, dear. Now, Alois, I want to talk about, what do I want to talk about?
The ITTF Star Awards, Jeff.
Yes. How could I forget? Such a, big event. Let's talk about them.
Yes. So, they had the Star Awards in Portugal a couple of nights ago now, and decided on the winners. So there was opportunity for everyone to vote themselves, and then there's a panel as well. So for some of them, for the para athletes, it was just voted on by the para players committee. But I suppose the no real surprise with the male Star of the Year award was Ma Long, and I think such a deserved winner. So great to see Ma Long, after taking the World Championships, a real breakthrough year for him. The female award went to Liu Wen. So although she didn't win the World Championships, Ding Ning took that. Liu Wen was voted the female player of the year, and a little bit controversial. I must admit I voted for Ding Ning. And then the male para Star of the Year award was David Jacobs from Indonesia. A great guy, a lefty, really quiet, unassuming, but a fantastic player. So well done, David Jacobs. And the female para athlete was Borislava Peric Rankovic from Serbia. And she's a wheelie, so and a beautiful player as well. The table tennis star coach went to Liu Goliang. I'm not 100% sure about that one. I think it's great. Liu Goliang obviously in charge of the best stable of athletes, but as a star coach, I'm not really sure. I think more would go to a coach that is working with players with less ability and really trying to bring those guys up. But not saying Liu Goliang's a bad coach or anything, but I think just as an award for a coach, I reckon Liu Goliang, I reckon there's a lot of people that could step in there and do what he does.
Yeah, you think do what he does because he's got such an easy job.
Well, maybe
take off the street and China would still win the gold medal. Is that what you're trying to say?
Probably. But it's always hard to tell you when you're not in their shoes. there's probably a lot of stuff that he's doing behind the scenes as well. So, I mean, I'm not saying that Hugo Liang's a bad coach. I'm just saying that I think as an award, maybe let's look outside that bubble.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't mind it. I mean, Marlon getting the award, great. And, controversy, maybe it should have gone to Ding Ning. But, obviously, Li Xuan, deserved winner. So that's good. Better than them giving it to an up-and-coming. So that's why they changed that from last year, I think. And I think that was a good move.
Yeah.
So giving it to the best coach, Hugo Liang, it's not, can't be too controversial. So I'm not too unhappy with that either.
Oh, as long as you're happy, Jeff. But but as you said, the new award this year was the Breakthrough Star award, and that went to Mima Ito. So again, really deserved. Mima Ito just had a great year as well. And I think this was in response to last year's Star Awards, where I think I think these ITTF Star Awards can really highlight the super elite athletes in our sport, and I think that's what they've done this year by giving Ma Long and Lu Wen those Star Awards, and then also creating the Breakthrough Star Award. So well done to the ITTF for introducing that. And then there's also the Fair Play Star, and I don't know much about these players, but Lenor Sitaku and Vionu Maloku from Kosovo. So well done to those Fair Play Stars. And there was one more award, and I think this was almost, a lay down misère, the Table Tennis Star Point of the Year award, and that had to go to the rally in the final of the men's singles championships, Fang Bo and Ma Long. What an incredible point! They dubbed it the point of the century, and it probably fairly close to it.
Indeed. Great summary there of the ITTF Star Awards, Alois. Now, today's PingSkills question of the day, which if you enter and get the best answer as judged by Alois, you will win a premium membership. And over the week, we've had everyone who's won going into a draw for a yearly premium membership, and the other people will get a monthly premium membership. So make sure you jump onto our Facebook page or pingskills.com and hit the blog link to answer today's PingSkills question of the day for your chance to get one of those premium memberships. And the question is, how can the ITTF improve the Star Awards for next year? So put your thinking caps on and let us know. Love to hear your thoughts. All right, Alois, now we can move on to yesterday's PingSkills question of the day and tell us a bit about the answers from that question and who the winner is from that day. And the question was, what ideas do you have to make PingSkills better?
Yeah, so, again, good response. Thank you, guys. Glenn Errington said, I love the humor. It's a great way to enjoy learning. Alan Jian said, shorter videos. Interesting. Eugene Liu said, add more new lessons. So yeah, that we'll take that on board. We've been focusing on just updating some of the older lessons. So so thanks, Eugene. We'll get on to making some more newer ones. Keenan Southall said, I would personally recommend to talk more about equipment and things like that. So yeah, thank you for that. Michael Dubig said, I suggest giving advice with more different styles. For example, people who play with pips are not necessarily blockers. I've played against pips players who have a pretty good loop that rivals an attacker as well. So, so some good suggestions there. But I think Dana for today said, love the jokes, humor, and number facts. More fun, the better. My suggestion, you discuss various subjects in your weekly podcast, some of which we may not be interested. So I'd suggest that we be given a chance to choose individual subject videos, which we can access on an individual basis, or the entire video if we want to see it all. So that's not a bad one too, Jeff. So what do you think?
Oh, very tough. A lot of good questions there, Alois. I'm going to have to leave it to you.
Well, I'm going to actually give it to Thad, who we haven't mentioned yet. And
Cool. What
yeah,
did Thad say?
lose the jokes and numbers.
That's it. Good one.
Where I secretly like the jokes and sometimes the numbers, but yeah, Thad, we'll give it to you just for being brave and upfront.
Well done. Excellent work. All right. Congratulations, Thad. All right. And after that suggestion, Alois, it is Friday Funnies, and I haven't told 204 jokes yet, but I do have another really good joke for you.
Oh, great.
What do you call a girl standing in the middle of a table tennis table?
I don't know, Jeff. What do you call a girl standing in the middle of a table tennis table?
Annette. Ah, yes, Friday Funnies. We love it. I hope everyone's enjoying their Friday.
Yeah, they're getting a little bit better.
All right. Now, Alois, we're going to move into the questions now, and we've got one from Ilya, who has jumped on and asked a question live on the show, which we love using the Google Q&A app. And his question is, he says, "Hi, guys. I have questions about maximizing the spin on the pendulum serve. Number one, when you do the wrist snap, do you consciously contract wrist muscles, or do you completely relax it and it follows by inertia after the forearm action?"
Yeah, good question, Ilya. So what Ilya is saying is, do you keep it completely loose and relaxed, or do you force it through at the snapping point? So when the bat's going back and then you're coming forward here, you can just add a little bit of pressure with your fingers here just to increase the inertia. But then as you're coming through, you let it relax completely. So you're changing the direction, and then bang, there's a little bit of inertia by the movement of your fingers as well, just to let that come through a bit faster. So yeah, the reason why serving is so advanced and so, I suppose, difficult to master is because there's so many little movements there. And just getting the timing of all that right is pretty difficult. So yeah, work with it, work on it, and just try to feel it. I mean, I think it's much better to be completely relaxed than to be completely tight as well. So the first thing you really do need to do is just loosen up that wrist and allow it to flow, so you can just get that wrist going backwards and forwards, and the bat snapping through. So the relaxation is really key. But then just at the wrist snap, you can just squeeze a little bit and increase the speed, or just increase the inertia just initially.
Yeah, it's an interesting question, and I think it's important that all your other muscles are definitely relaxed, because if your wrist and if your arm and all your shoulder is tight, then it's hard to move through fast. But yeah, that wrist, obviously you need to use a little bit of muscles to get your wrist moving. But yeah, just have a little play around like Alois said, and I think you'll get the hang of it. Yeah, you want a nice relaxed action. That always seems to generate the most speed. Now, the second part of the question, Alois, was, Ilya says, some people advise to also turn the waist to add even more racket speed. However, I find it extremely challenging to do and usually generate less spin. What is your opinion? And can you do this for the reverse serve?
Yeah, so with the pendulum, you're using a little itty bitty bit of waist. So you are just turning a little bit there. So it's just here to there. So it's not like you're doing that sort of action, because once you get that sort of action happening, you're losing your focus on the wrist snap. So there is a little bit of waist action as you're coming through, but yeah, definitely not a lot of waist. I mean, I'd rather see you completely still here. So keep this still and just focus on the wrist snap to start off with. After that, you can just get a little bit of shoulder turn, waist turn to generate a fraction more. But yeah, keep it fairly still with that.
All right, good advice and good questions. Thank you, Ilya. Next up, Victory says, in school, we do table tennis, and so they don't really follow the rules. And there's a guy that does a pure heavy side spin serve without throwing the ball up. And it has scary speed, spin, and power, and almost everyone can't block the serve. Even the most talented players can't control the spin. Yeah, what do we do here in this situation, Alois? Do we just tell them about the rules and try and educate them, or what's the answer?
Yeah, I think so. I think you certainly should mention it. I mean, take in the PingSkills rules brochure and show it to them, print it out, give it to them, say, yeah, here you go. You do need to throw the ball up before you hit it. When they're just they're almost throwing the ball into their bat, you can generate a lot more spin, and that's why that rule was banned, basically. So that action was banned. So you can't just throw the ball into the bat. So you do have to throw the ball up. But you can also use it as good practice, right? Because if someone's getting that much spin on the ball, you can really start to learn how to return serves with more spin, because the pros are probably serving with that amount of spin, but doing it legally. So yeah, just have a go, just learn, understand the principles of receiving spin, utilizing the angle of your racket, and then you can start to, it's like you're facing a pro. So use it.
Excellent advice. All right, good luck, Brocky. Okay, next up is a question from Peter, who says, you mentioned it's best to store your rubber in a cool place. So thank you for that. Is there an ideal temperature, and would the refrigerator be a silly place to store them?
Yeah, so cool, and I probably should say cool and dry. So if you if you keep your rubber moist or wet all the time, then it does tends to discolor. So yeah, so that must be affecting the rubber in some way. So keep it dry as well. The best place I find is just seal it in some plastic bags. Just stick it in the bottom of a cupboard somewhere where it's not getting any light. Put it in a closet and keep it there for basically as long as you want it. It stays for a very, very long time if you keep it in those conditions.
All righty. Excellent. Thank you, Peter. Next up, Ernest. Ernest says, what's the difference between training and tournament balls? Do they have the same qualities? Training balls give a different feel compared to tournament balls, and I take a while to adjust. So why do they produce training balls?
Good question. So I'll go to the end bit first. Why do they produce training balls? They don't actually go out of their way to producing a lower quality ball. It's just what happens in the manufacturing. So the weight of the ball is fairly specific. Try and say that fast. It's fairly specific. So if the discs that they're using are a little bit lighter or a little bit heavier, then they're not going to be a 3-star ball. So sometimes, and it's difficult to get that manufacturing process exact all the time. So often if there's a lighter or less plastic now in the disc, it'll end up as a lighter ball and a softer ball. So those balls will be sorted out once they're manufactured, and the ones that are the perfect weight will go straight down the line to be 3-star balls, and if they're a little bit lighter, they'll go off and they'll be a 2-star ball or a 1-star ball or training type balls as well. So yeah, so they're not going out of their way to produce bad table tennis balls. That's just how they come out. And then the first part, yes, they do bounce quite differently. So a 3-star ball or a good quality ball will bounce. Firstly, it'll bounce consistently, and also it'll bounce a little bit higher usually than a training ball or a 1 or 2-star ball, because they tend to be a bit softer. So yeah, so you are going to get variable bounce. And then as far as training with the training ball, I think it's okay. You are right that because there is a difference, it's not ideal. But if you want to do multi-ball training, or just just get more hitting in, then it's probably better to have, 30 training balls that are reasonable quality. Don't get, the ones that are really soft and don't bounce at all. But there are some pretty good training balls out there that you can use. It's better to use, 30 of those than to use, 5 3-star balls. So, that's just the trade-off, isn't it, between financially between, training with more balls or less balls. I mean, in the ideal world, it would be great to just train with perfect 3-star balls for multi-ball for everything. That's obviously going to be better, but most people can't, put that sort of resources into it.
Excellent. Good answer. And thank you for the question, Ernest. Now, Victory has jumped on again, Alois, and said, I have been watching Waldner's last matches, and it looks like Waldner is becoming slower and slower and worse every time he plays. He wouldn't stand a chance at all against the current players.
No, that's probably true. Like, the man's 50, so he's going all right. But yeah, you're right. I mean, if you put Waldner on a table now against Marlong, Marlong would eat him up. But the guy's 50. Give him a break. He's doing all right.
Indeed, go Waldner. All right, next up, Joanne says, hi, Alois. Everybody is talking about touch, but I've never heard someone explain it. How can we improve it? And how is it possible to have better touch? So what are we talking about here with touch, Alois? And as Johan says, how can we improve it?
This is the touch, the PingSkills touch. No, the touch is often referred to as just being able to control the ball, but usually we talk about it controlling the ball in small spaces or in for the shorter and the smaller strokes, like the push or the return of serve. So if you're thinking about doing some short pushing and being able to just drop the ball over the net and to be able to control a spinny ball that's coming in with a soft hand and to be able to put it where you want to, that's what we're really referring to as touch, being able to control that ball, control the spinning ball, controlling the ball in a small space. So yeah, that's what we refer to. And how do we improve it? I think a really good one is just practicing your short pushing. Short pushing really helps to develop the feel and the relaxation in your hand and in your fingers. So short pushing is a good one. And then just practicing return of serve. So getting someone to serve to you a lot with all different spins and just being able to control that ball back onto the table where you want to, for me is how you can improve touch the best.
And now those things you mentioned, Alois, sound like really important things for your overall game. So it sounds like improving your touch is, going to be really helpful.
Yeah, it is. It really is, because, we often talk about, the most important shots in the rally are those first couple of shots, the service, the return of serve, and the short pushing. So yeah, and the touch is involved in all of that. There's that small control to be able to put that ball back on the table where you want to. So, or even to be able to serve the ball where you want to, with requires some touch. So yeah, it is a really important part. And and the other thing is that one of the best ways is just by being on the table more and hitting more table tennis balls. No one, not even Waldner, when he hit his first table tennis ball, had really good touch with it, because you don't know how far the ball's going to go. You don't have that memory of what's going to happen with the ball. So just by hitting a lot of balls, you start to get the feel of what's going to happen to the ball when you hit it, when they've got different spins on the ball. So yeah, it's a lot of experience as well, as with most things in this sport.
Yes, absolutely. All right, great question, Johan, and hopefully you can improve your touch and improve your table tennis. All right, Alois, now that wraps up show 204. We've now asked all 5 PingSkills questions of the day, so we will announce our yearly membership winner from those. Well, we've got to announce the 5th winner first, and then we'll announce the yearly winner on our next show, Alois. But when is that going to be?
Yeah, so our next show is actually on Tuesday morning. So we have to. I'm away on Monday doing some coaching at the PingSkills camp in Woodville. So I'll be away doing that. So Tuesday morning it is, and we will announce the winner of both today's PingSkills question of the day and the big yearly prize. So stay tuned.
Excellent, everybody. Yeah, get ready for Tuesday. It will be a big show. But thank you for watching today. Thank you for all your questions. And yeah, as we said, we'll see you Tuesday. Thank you, Alois.
Thanks, Jeffrey. And we survived another Friday funny. There you go.
We did indeed. All right, have a great weekend. Hopefully you'll get some table tennis in, and catch you Tuesday. Bye.